Since commercial space, has obviously been hit during the time of COVID, how are you recommending people prepare their budgets in accordance to that, potential loss throughout the year? Because maybe it will get better, but maybe it will sustain. So how have you been, engaging your clients in that way?
So this is a fantastic question. It was definitely a harder question to answer last year going into the 21 budget season because everyone was just coming out of COVID and no one knew what was going on. And buildings, we had a lot of buildings that had done amended leases or given credits or abatements for a couple of months. By the time we were doing the audit in February, March, and April, those abatements were getting extended for more further along. I think the time has helped us here. Right now, we're almost a year and a half past when everything shut down, and businesses that might have said they'll recoup will know the truth now about whether or not they're going to be able to stay afloat and how much they can afford to pay. And obviously, I think a lot of boards have been doing, which is I think the smartest way of going about it is again, it depends the type of corporation. You're dealing with a lease of a garage that maybe the garage company is backed by a public company, and they have the funds, and they're just trying to take the building for a ride. I completely agree with taking a hard stance and not giving them abatements, because that, again, a lot of buildings that have commercial space, that's a lot of times 15 to 20% of their budget is commercial, and that's going to be a hit to the owners, to the residential owners. So that's really looking at it from two angles. Number one, do they need a break? Are they not paying because they really don't have business, or because they're just trying to test the waters? And I think the boards have to be strong if they're just trying to test the waters and they see the foot traffic coming into the space, and looks like the business is running. I wouldn't be so quick to give them an abatement. But at the same time, also, if you have a business that is hurting for whatever reason, the business model doesn't, let's say barbershops that were thriving during, because everyone was in the city getting haircuts. Now people working from home, they're not getting the same foot traffic. You have to ask yourself a question. Do you ask him how much can you pay? Let's say he was paying $10,000 a month. Can you afford to pay $5,000, so at least the space is occupied? Or do you kick him out and you say, listen, we you can't, you're not making your monthly payments, so therefore we're going to ask you to leave and go find somebody else. I think a lot of buildings are being conservative and saying, all right, let's see what we can get for now. But I think time, like I said, time has really helped all these buildings give everyone the opportunities that they originally gave them. So when we were doing the audits last year, they were giving everyone 6-month abatements. We'll give you 6 months. If you can make those payments, then we'll restart again. If those 6 months they're not able to make those payments, they're probably not going to be able to make it after that. So you have to be realistic and say, all right, time to leave. We'll find somebody else, or you deal with it. But when you deal with it and you do the budget, which I'm sure Megan's going to completely agree with me on this, don't budget for the full rent. They were paying $100,000 a month for rent. Now they're only able to pay 25. Don't prepare the 22 budget assuming they're going to be collecting $100,000 a month. You have to be realistic. And as much as it hurts, and I've had a ton of buildings that have been hurt. They've had to implement assessments. They've had to implement increases for 21 to recover the lost rents. To put a budget out with the $100,000 number when it's really 25 hurts. It's really, again, that's not the future thinking. That's going into the reserve account. You're pulling money out of reserves. You're gonna end up asking the owners for that money anyway. And you have to make the right decision with that, with the leases. So leases really, I think time has helped us to make boards to make those decisions, and you have a couple of options there to be aggressive or not to be aggressive.